This XO19 event that just happened cemented one mindset with all of Xbox's executives, developers, employees, and most of all, its fans. It's that Xbox is going to provide so many games to us over the next several years that it might be too overwhelming for some. And because of that, I truly have to say that Xbox is all in on gaming and will continue to prove that over the next couple of events. And in every single event, Xbox will go on stage and show nothing but games, games, games. Now, of course, they'll show hardware and services to match all of these games. We know that Project Scarlet is right around the corner with a holiday 2020 release date. We know that they just released the Xbox Elite Controller 2. We also know that Xbox Game Pass has turned into gaming's best service by far. All of this is vital to Xbox and their future plans for gaming, especially to provide what I think is the most important aspect of their future, and that's games. While all of those things I just mentioned are important to the future of Xbox, nothing is more important than the games they bring to the platform. And that's what Phil Spencer and Matt Booty talk about in interviews done by IGN at the XO19 event. They don't mince words or try to dodge questions about their game studios. Instead, they double down that games and providing great games to their fans is what's most important. So let's dive into these interviews and see what Xbox's future really looks like. But before we dive into the interviews, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so the first person I want to talk about is Matt Booty and what he hints at and what he's talking about for the future of Xbox in 2020. Not only that, but he also talks about the initiative, which if we remember is the brand new quadruple A studio that was built by Xbox last year. He seems very excited about not only the initiative's games, but their future games, especially the ones that they'll show later this year and next year. Here's exactly what he said.
This over for a little bit?
Earlier this week, I was reviewing some materials from the team, and they are busy at work, and I can just say two things, that they have hired some tremendous talent there, so I feel really good about the team that we've put together, and what they're working on is coming together really well. It looks exciting.
Okay.
You know, we, as I said a little bit earlier, we're going to be showing more games toward the end of the year, and then we've got a whole bunch of games that we're going to be announcing as we get into 2020, so there's more beats coming up for us to talk about that, so stay tuned.
As you can see and hear right there, Matt Booty seems extremely confident in the games they still haven't even talked about yet. And of course he is. This is the guy that deals with all of the studios that are part of the Xbox Game Studio family. He goes and visits all of them on a regular basis and provides them every single resource they need. And while we got a lot of games shown off at XO19, there still seems to be this sense that Xbox is truly holding back for next year and next generation. Now, I know they showed off a new IP by Rare and Obsidian Entertainment, not to mention a new game by the creators of Life is Strange at XO19. These announcements made XO19 very memorable and exciting for the future of Xbox, but that still didn't even scratch the surface of what Xbox has planned for their future games. And that's where Phil Spencer comes into mind. As we know, Xbox has been changing their identity for a little while now. They've been shifting for years from hardware-centric because they had to, all the way to software-centric because they wanted to solidify their network and infrastructure of the Xbox platform, all the way to focusing on games and the studios they've brought. And Phil Spencer admits this in an interview with IGN. Here's what he says.
I'd love to kick off with a sort of big picture question. It feels to me like Xbox, this generation, as it's moved through, has moved from hardware-first ideas to games-first ideas. And it feels like today is sort of the ultimate expression of that. We've got so many new games being announced today and so many new first-party titles being announced. Would you agree with that philosophy of how you're approaching Xbox these days?
Yeah, I've been in this role a little over 5 years, and when we started, we had real hardware innovations that we wanted to put into market. We did that with Xbox One X. You see the Elite Series 2 controller. So I feel really good about how we've done on hardware. And obviously there's future stuff to come. We thought about service a lot. We built Game Pass. We've made evolutions to Xbox Live. And I definitely heard the feedback on our first party. You need to build a stronger first party. I want more diversity in the kind of games, new storytellers. So I feel great about getting to come here to XO in London, which is awesome, and get to show so much work from our studios. And as you said, including 3 new games. But I really think about all 3 of those things. It's not moving from one to the other. All 3 have to be hard at work on all of those, and we need to do great work.
Now, I've said this numerous times. When Phil Spencer took over Xbox, he was put in a very difficult spot. He had to revamp every single aspect from the top down at Xbox in order to make a platform where gamers wanted to invest in. And this interview solidifies this notion for me because he does admit that they weren't going to create great games if they didn't provide great hardware and software to developers to make the games they want to make. It's why this generation was so harsh on Xbox, because they started this generation so far down the totem pole in regards to console power and software. And for them to climb out of that hole and actually provide some of the best, if not the best piece of hardware for developers to develop on, speaks volumes about the work being done at Xbox. And it's not just that, it's that as they're building this amazing infrastructure, they're also creating these games for people to enjoy. But that's not all that Phil Spencer said. Here's one of his best quotes I've heard in the interview.
Getting our sort of first flush of these new Microsoft-owned developers, these first-party studios, the Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah.
And what's the sort of overall philosophy for those guys? What's the goal right now? You've got this like burgeoning empire of studios that you're building all over the world. I'd love to know, what are you aiming for? Is it just that you want to be able to provide first-party exclusives on a regular basis, or is there a wider kind of idea of what you're aiming to create with those partners?
I would start kind of simply with what you said at the beginning. I want to make sure we have a steady lineup, a great portfolio from great studios, creators telling new stories with new characters and worlds in their own way. And as a platform, our job is to give those creators the best platform to tell those stories. And some of that is hardware capability, but it's also diversity of business models. So if somebody wants to do something that's slightly more episodic or more single player or more service-based, like whatever our studios want to go do, focus more on maybe a PC first title, more on a console first title, we want to enable that creativity across our full slate of first-party studios. And it's awesome when you can see, at the show, something going from Flight Sim to Minecraft Dungeons to new stories, you tell Grounded. I mean, I love the fact that we have such a breadth of studios doing such diverse work.
This quote in this interview is one of the main reasons I'm making this video, because it really does paint a very clear picture in regards to Xbox's future. They want to provide great experiences from the top down to everyone that decides to join the Xbox platform. You could be a top-notch developer like the Coalition, and Xbox wants you to have a very solid experience developing for their platform. You can be a small third-party developer that wants to try something new in a game. Well, Xbox will provide you an easy way to develop the game and also give you the opportunity to put that game on Xbox Game Pass, where millions and millions of gamers might play it. Not to mention us, the gamers that get to play on the platform. That gives us so much great value with hardware, games, and of course services. It all comes together very nicely. And it shows that Xbox isn't just committed to services and taking everyone's money away from them like some people scream from the rooftops. It's about making the Xbox platform something that developers, gamers, and most of all, fans can trust. And the best way to earn people's trust is to provide them with what they want most, which is games. And like I've said in other videos before, the best way to do this is to give the people making the games the best experience they possibly can have. Don't make developing games for the system difficult or overwhelming. Instead, make it so easy it's almost a no-brainer for them to put the game on the Xbox platform. And that's exactly what Xbox is trying to do right now. They've laid down the foundation, and now it's all about execution. And I'm going to leave you with one more awesome quote from the conference at XO19 by Phil Spencer. Here's what he says about Xbox and all their games.
Matt Booty and the team have been doing great work. It's great to sit here and come and see, 3 new Xbox Game Studios games announced, seeing just so much of our first-party work. Frankly, when we look forward and we're looking at the shows to come, I can't see a show where we won't be announcing new first-party games. There's just so much in development, and there's so few shows that I think this should just be something that we should get used to. Seeing new games from our studios doing amazing work.
Really exciting.
And I hear that's what people want. So
yeah,
that's great.
absolutely. More games. More games.
Now, that's what every single Xbox fan wanted to hear. Not only Xbox fans, but gaming fans in general. We want to see more games every single show. And seeing how Xbox has 15 first-party studios that could bring out different games every single year, I have a feeling that what Phil Spencer is saying here isn't that far off. I think we get new games every single show, especially E3 and XO events. This is going to be Xbox's future plans for a very long time. They'll give us what we want most, which is games on a great platform. How can you hate on it? But enough about what I think. Tell me what you think about all of this. Are you happy with the amount of games shown at XO19? Do you think Xbox has the right idea for their future, which is flooding us with games? What type of games do you want to see from Xbox? What new games do you think are coming to Xbox in 2020? Do you think Xbox needs more studios to fill out their portfolio? Which gaming genre do you want to see more from Xbox? Do you trust Phil Spencer's plan for the future of Xbox? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. And also follow me on Mixer. I recently started streaming on Mixer because I find the community much more engaging and fun. So if you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and I'm always playing games. The links will be in the description. I hope to see you guys there. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.